My name's Chris.
And I'm Christy.
This is the Washing Up Podcast. Oh, we're echoing. Okay. So we're clearly
There's
not...
only one place in this world that we echo.
Yeah, there is only one place we actually echo.
Now you two.
Oh, for God's sake. I'll just let Hoda take over the show, shall I?
Welcome to
Hoda's.
I'm Jess.
Hoda and Jess.
Not Leah Muncher.
Not the Jess you're after, the other one.
The other Jess, who we're relaunching as Titty Litter.
So, I'd say how are you both, but we know how you are. Awesome is the answer to that question.
Tell our audience.
Absolutely. We are, well, I am. A is for awesome. That's what I am. I'm super now that you guys are here. Welcome to my humble abode yet again.
Cussing a Hoda. You know, this is a verbal meme, by the way. This is verbal.
Just your neighbour
So-
popped in.
I can't stop laughing. A bit of all right. B is for bit of all right.
C is for, we're not going there.
That's not. So how did it feel to be eliminated last night? Oh, no, wait, that wasn't you. Anyway.
Oh my god.
So I know there's going to be a lot of people when they see... when you
Christmassy. I was going to say it's Christmassy, but it's because you're Chris and I'm Chris. And
Anyway. So we decided we wanted to sort of jazz it up a little bit, especially
I
after
thought I was
last...
going to say cunt. Well, there you go. You made me say it now.
You said you didn't want to edit this.
No, and I won't.
don't.
And I won't. So, yeah, no, look, we talked the other day about, the Reynolds fanboys, and I decided we needed to perk everything up. We needed to perk everything up, and we needed to sort of, bring back the fun to the podcast. And I couldn't think of a better way to do it than by adding these two lovely ladies to the equation. I feel like this is going to just raise the mood, and we've already heard how that goes. Christy's already said cunt. So let's get...
There's a bit of a sugar high kicking in.
There is.
You fed us well.
Did I?
And yes,
great.
and she made us these
My
delightful-
idea for the pashmak.
And just as the real MVP with the pashmak, going on to waffles, smothered in Nutella. So you'll probably hear me get faster than Jess, the other Jess that you actually want to hear.
I mean,
This is the Hoda that you want to hear.
This is the way I want to hear. Yes.
Okay.
I can already hear people at home going, what the fuck is this? So
they just don't want to keep printing new aprons. This is the thing.
They just keep on replacing names. It's like simple. Like everyone from this season, next season, if you want to audition, and I know they've already started the audition process, you must have a name of somebody in this season
Jess
of Masterchef.
Can we start a bet and see if there's going to be a Jess
How many they
next season?
duplicate?
There has to be a Jess
Guaranteed.
next season.
Well, is there going to be a Hoda? Is there going to be one? There's been two.
Well, they've retired those aprons now, haven't they?
It's like the jerseys. It's like Michael Jordan's jersey.
up to the rafters of the Masterchef.
Don't worry, mine's currently waiting to be framed with everything else.
Lord,
Don't frame your apron.
Why not?
Oh, just wear it.
Wear it around.
What for?
Just wear it for cooking.
So people
you've got all your
I've got about 5 or 6 different aprons.
Sorry, we don't all have 7
No,
sponsors.
this podcast is sort of semi-sponsored. It's not paid for or anything here. But
not for us.
We're not getting any
Tonight's
benefit.
dinner was
Tonight's dinner was brought to you.
tonight's dinner.
Hoda has 1 billion sponsors. You can't get through it.
It'll be
as we go through this episode, Hoda can work out a way to work sponsors in with the natural flow of what we're talking about.
Are you used to that by
If
now?
this was a
100%.
drinking game, we could play. Hoda could.
I thought about doing a drinking game just for this podcast.
I do have non-alcoholic drinks.
100%.
I'll take that.
Yeah, so let's get into last night's episode, shall we?
Oh, okay. Which was quite
Sad. So
Disturbingly so.
it was. I was.
Let's just bring that tone down.
Yeah,
shall we?
let's just lower the
He's an
tone.
amazing cook. We had really good food.
Yeah, the food itself was really good. I thought that the cook was excellent. I thought that the episode itself was really good. It's just that bit at the end where, they sent home Jess and nobody could hug her. And that was completely heartbreaking.
But
and
wasn't that like the first episode post-COVID, restriction?
Yeah, it was the first year. It was.
It was the first big elimination. It was the first big elimination past that, because they the COVID had sort of hit last
The week
week,
before.
but it was still like they were still sort of, oh yeah, we've got a bit of distancing going on, but they didn't have the big emotional send off. Like whereas this was a big emotional send off.
Who went off last week?
I don't.
What? No one
because I have
cared.
to remember.
Oh, sorry.
Why do you do this to me?
Because it's relevant, and our listeners are going, oh, they're
Tracy.
No, that was a couple of weeks ago. We're going really well, guys.
Was it Sarah Claire? No, it wasn't.
No, that was. Oh no! We've completely exposed.
We're right on the money.
Guys, this is really bad. You guys,
We've completely.
We really do suck.
Says the one looking at it frantically to try and find out.
Okay, so the problem, by the way, with why we were struggling to work out who was going, who went home, was because last week was a week where everything was all over the place because you were sick. We did the podcast completely out of sync. Because we did talk to Sarah Claire, and then there was only one elimination.
right.
There was only one elimination last week, not the two. And
well, they had to make up for.
yeah, they had to for some people not being there, and so because they had to make up for that, that was why everything was sort of out of sync. So that's why we can't remember it.
Oh, it was Tracy.
Yeah, it was Tracy.
It was Tracy.
See, I wing it all the time. Don't ever underestimate Hoda's brand.
Okay, so-
hashtag winging it with Hoda. Thank you very much.
So now that
Sorry, Tracy.
So now that sorry for that, Trace. Look, to be fair to you, Tracy, as we talked about the other week on the podcast, you were covered so poorly at times that it's really hard to remember that you were there.
Can we just have a minute's silence for all of those poor souls through all the seasons that have just been overlooked
There was a guy in
for no reason other than it just didn't work with the storyline?
There was not one but two men called Trent.
yeah.
no.
Who?
There was no man called Trent.
Well, this is what you'd
Sorry,
believe.
Trent.
This is what you believe.
Because they were essentially ninjas in the.
They just thought it
Tracy
worked.
was the female Trent.
Yeah, well, then Tracy was at one point.
Tracy.
At one point.
Shout out to my girl Monica from last season. Money,
Represent.
we love money.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do remember.
Well, you know, Australia it's a travesty for them that they didn't get to.
They missed out. They lost.
did. They totally did.
I'd like to see like Masterchef, the eliminated, like just like
Yes.
like RuPaul's Drag Race has like fucking what's it called?
Gone, but forgotten as well.
You know what they should do? Where are they now?
They can't
Where are
find-
they now? Who are they then?
They still can't find Trent. But the important thing with the Tracy Cook was to sort of point
Sorry,
out just how poorly treated Tracy was when she went home. It's the guy in the broom shirt in the live cook they did got more airtime than Tracy.
What?
And he was a guy wearing a hoodie that said broom, and he was sitting in the audience, and he got more airtime than Tracy in like 4 challenges.
what?
So they did a live. They did the live cook where they were all cooking in front of a live audience.
Oh, yeah,
and they had one.
No,
guy-
I did. It's just they all meld into one.
They had one guy in a broom in a jumper that said broom, and he got like 9 or 10 cutaways.
How many followers has he got on Instagram?
We had to look him up. Compare it. Tracy. Anyway,
Broom
so
guy, hit us up.
last night's episode. Let's drag this train back onto the tracks.
I disagree with you. I didn't like it. I didn't like the challenge.
Last night.
Didn't like
the
it?
dishes. No.
Explain.
I just think that, you know, they didn't all push the boundaries, and then some of them got pulled up on pushing the boundaries, and then some of them got put, you know, I just don't think it was equal. It wasn't fair, which is just shocking.
I know.
Shock and fireball moment.
Now,
I mean, yeah, just some of the flavors seemed really basic to me. And this is, I
think there
can't
was
make
some.
ice cream at all, so I'm not saying I can do better. But this is All Stars, guys.
I think there was some.
Make it better. Caviar and lobster.
Tessa was my standout last night.
Tessa had a really good.
She did the blackberry and something. It was fucking delicious.
No one used the condom.
You seem a bit infatuated with the condom. So I thought there was like I see where you're sort of going
That's
with
how
that.
I learnt my mum was actually naughty. Because when I was growing up, my mum wouldn't let us swear, right? Like if I said bloody, oh my god, I had my mouth literally.
She evolved.
Let's just say
isn't
I
even her
found out
final
about
form.
my family. She would literally wash her mouth out with soap, and when she was I know it's just painful.
My mum was a bitch though. She took the soap out of her hand and like chewed it and was like. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
So like, my mum was a guide leader, and they had to go on this like training course, and part of it was going through Ku-ring-gai National Park with like an Aboriginal person teaching about the native ingredients and stuff you could find there. And my mum come home giggling, going, condoms. We got to eat condoms. I'm like, what? She goes, they're actually called condoms.
Knowing your mother, I can see it saying that. I can see it. It makes perfect sense.
I've been obsessed with condoms. I know we're getting off topic, Chris, but I've been obsessed with condoms for so long. We had condom jam in the Masterchef house. No one ever used it. No one ever ate it. But you better believe I stole it from that kitchen.
Yes!
And I still have a jar of condom jam.
It's the same one.
At home. It is. I haven't opened it.
eBay.
What are you waiting for?
Some
Special
reason to use
occasion.
condoms.
That ice cream that you're talking about.
He's infatuated with condoms. Can't get a reason to use them though. I love them. What about eating them? No, I don't want to eat them. I just love them.
No one uses
Well, it's like making ice cream with licorice when you don't like licorice.
That was weird. I do, by the way, like licorice. We'll get to there in a minute.
Hey, I made a kick-ass effing...
No, look at this.
I will be your swear woman. Fucking. You just poked me.
I'm just being like really nice and sweet on this podcast.
Yeah.
But I made a licorice ice cream that was kick-ass in my season. Adriano Zumbo still talks about it. But because they told me, well, there were things that happened and it didn't set in time...
Oh yes, that
I would
remember
have won
that.
the mystery box challenge in that
and
challenge.
be safe.
Yeah.
But do you know who did win a mystery box challenge? It was Jess. The one
No,
who
she
all
actually
wanted to
So anyway, when we got into this idea of weird flavours, my biggest disappointment for the night was that Simon didn't get the chance to make cauliflower ice cream. And
I know that's a mistake.
I thought that this is perfect. I mean, look, cauliflower can substitute in everything else.
Well, it has no flavour, so
Exactly.
just, you know.
Can
Exactly.
substituting for sex dolls.
Apparently, in some people's minds, that was.
Oh my god! I'm so sorry. The looks I'm getting. What? It's like maybe
I feel like you guys have conversations and then you assume that everyone else knows about
Pick the episode they didn't listen to, the one where Christy described Simon getting it on with a cauliflower. So
I've seen it happen.
she likes to watch. Anyway, alleged blanket.
I'm just going to peel this banana while you're all talking about
While we're talking about that, well done.
Okay.
So
would you like some
very
condom
slow.
jam?
How slow would you like it?
She said.
So before we actually get into the actual episode, and while you're all giggling, I'm going to have a conversation with the audience.
Okay.
So we'll just talk together and they can do whatever they're doing. We're just peeling a banana. The other two are like looking at each other and making fun of it, and like Christy's taking photos of the banana. Anyway, while that's all
I'm doing incredible handstands.
You are. It's amazing. I've never seen the quality of it. But one of the things that I do want to quickly mention was Masterchef social media. Masterchef social media and Masterchef publicity. These two are going to keep going.
Guys,
These two are going to keep going.
Sorry.
So,
respect the pod.
yeah, respect the podcast.
Oh, I forgot we're potting.
Yeah, exactly. You forgot we're recording. Masterchef social media and Channel 10, can we please stop fucking spoiling episodes by putting out in your social media feed what happens? That'd be really good. So they tweeted out, Channel 10 and Masterchef tweeted out a photo going, our most emotional elimination ever, with a picture of the 5 who ended up in the second challenge. So they gave away who was doing that. Also,
Can I interrupt you for 1 second there?
How's your banana?
Oh, it is effing great.
fucking.
However, on that note, Chris, I am listening while I'm eating this banana.
I know you are.
One of the things I have a bit of a tiff about this season is when they keep saying, Fireball, one of your favourites is...
I know.
Shouldn't they all be our favourites?
Also, don't tell me who my favourite is.
The other one that I've called out a few times is the phrase MasterChef Legends. And I'm like...
You're sitting at a table with 2.
Everyone is a MasterChef legend, apparently. Everyone. And look, I get it. Look, there's some beloved people, and everyone has their favourites.
I would say you guys are beloved, but really there is only one legend, and that's John too. Okay, John.
So, no. If anyone knew who he
He's an
was,
enigma.
agreed. He's an enigma wrapped in a riddle, wrapped in a gantry. Anyway.
No, it's John and his white chocolate velouté.
Oh, yeah.
And far more importantly, Nathan. Not even someone called Nathan, but for Nathan. The chocolate writing on the plate of the
Tomato
tuna.
sauce.
Yeah, in tomato sauce.
Parsnip.
Yes,
Oh my
parsnip,
god, Hoda, stop.
yes. Anyway, so
She's making a new Instagram account.
we've had with the oh God. Well, I haven't even got them into the fucking pantry.
Sorry, I'm
I
sorry.
haven't-
Have to, because MasterChef has already told us
Who won? Who lost? Okay,
won,
good.
who
So,
lost.
cool. So anyway, that's the washing up. I'm still Chris. I'll do now.
Get on with it.
So
Like, this is not going well.
no, it's going brilliantly. On the contrary, it's going brilliantly.
That shit.
That's what we're going to call the episode. Batshit. So while everyone else is being chaotic and crazy and social distancing by running into each other in the pantry,
know what this
it doesn't.
shit is?
By the way, social distancing doesn't. Social.
A-N-A-N.
She shouldn't have sugar.
Like
So-
coffee and sugar.
Yeah, it's sugar. So when they run into the gantry, into the pantry, so I'm fucked up now. When they run into the pantry,
Don't choke on your
the
banana.
problem is that they all run in and put gloves on to be
Okay,
safe,
gag
but they all
reflex.
run in and push each other out of the
yeah,
way
absolutely.
to get the gloves.
And then they're handing each other food,
Yeah,
they're
like-
tasting the food, they're licking their fingers and putting it in the pot. We got fined for doing that.
What's the point? Like they're going like social distancing rules are ready, set, go. They all run in, push each other out of the way, and put gloves on and pass food around. Like that's not social distancing. And then while everyone else runs in and does this chaotic scene and grabs things and throws things and runs back to their bench, Poe is Farmer Poe. And I love Farmer Poe because Poe is not doing anything on anyone else's time.
She's me at a
but
market.
Poe's.
Just
Right.
swanning about.
Everyone else is sprinting, they're grabbing shit, they're running back to their benches and they're working out there. And Poe's just got a basket over her arm like it's Sunday. And she's walking around going, ooh, I might quite like some of those. Quite like some of those. And they walk in to like make sure she's okay. And this is something that they've now taken to sending Jock in after her.
Come on, boy, run.
Because the other week in the one-on-one cook-off where, you know, everyone else runs outside and she's in the, Poe, are you alive? Well, they've now given her a carer. And so Poe has a carer who follows her into the pantry to make sure she's alive.
Tonight he called himself Captain Citrus, but I really
we're
think
gonna talk
he
about
is the Poe herder.
He is. So what we did also get last night, and we in hindsight we should have picked it up. They tried a couple of times to put the old Bake Off evil on people. So we started with Melissa saying to Reese, "This is your challenge,"
That's
and then also called him the dessert guy. And you never say yes to that.
No.
You never. The second you say yes to that, you're done for. But
Well, he
then-
does say that about himself, though, so it's fine.
Don't say it with a camera. The problem was though.
He only says it with a camera. Love
Jess
you,
made it
Reese.
worse. Jess made it worse. But Jess made it so much more worse because she didn't even get prompted in. She looked at them and without asking, they went, "This is right up my alley." I'm like, "Well, you're fucked."
No.
The second you, like, it wasn't even a case of like, "This is your challenge," and them trying to put it, and him going, "Oh yes." It was, "This is up my alley." They didn't even
And
ask her.
it was up his alley.
No, but they said, "But Jess, like, this is up my alley." She's like, "We didn't even get prompted. I'm ignoring you because if we do that, we'll go off the rails again."
I am not talking about people's alleys and what goes up them. I am
Or
not.
what comes down.
Should we instead talk about Andy's dark secret?
Yes.
Linking into alleys. No.
Look, he may have got it in an alley. We
So-
don't know.
so
Andy has a problem.
So I'm talking, of course, when Andy talks about his dark secret,
I don't know if you guys are aware.
he loves ice cream. Apparently that's a dark secret.
Wow.
Like they're gathered around and he goes, "Can I tell you a dark secret? I really like ice cream." And I'm looking going, what the fuck sort of revelation is that?
Andy, can I tell you a dark secret? I love ice cream too.
Oh my god, we need an intervention.
What has happened to you?
She's sitting near me, too close.
It's rubbing off.
Christy virus.
It's gone wild this evening.
If you're still sticking with us, by the way, thank you. I appreciate it.
You haven't even had the sugar. Like, it's just...
You have. So,
Natural sugar.
She is sugar.
natural, all natural.
The banana.
So that was where we had this idea as well of the flavour block being. No, but the idea was Simon was describing the flavour block as this idea of writer's block, the equivalency. I'm like, no, I see a flavour block as just something that tastes really good in block form, like chocolate.
Oh, Simon. Simon. Similar to that of a writer's block.
Yes, similar. Let me tell you the metaphor. So let me say,
Simon, while they're all teasing you,
I
I really feel for you because That's what happened to me when I had the cinnamon challenge.
I thought you were going to say cake pops.
Yeah, and I made cake pops because I had writer's block.
Wonderful cake pops.
Excuse me, my cake pops. There's nothing wrong with my
I'm
cake pops.
legitimate.
Do you think those cake pops though could have given you like a bum block? Like, because if he doesn't get constipated, he gets bottom blocked. Like sort of writer's block, flavour block,
Bottom block.
God blocked.
Oh dear Lord! I don't know if you know what you just said.
No, I'm going to move.
know what I
I'm going to move on because I know where this is heading.
Yeah.
So, we did get an extra fairy tale, by the way, off the back of Fairy Tale Week last
Did
week.
we?
Yes, we had Reese and the Tweezers. Because what the fuck? I thought that George took all of the pears, but apparently no. Reese, they come past, and there's Reese tweezing his microherbs. And I'm like, what are you doing? I don't want to bruise them. And it's like, what the fuck's wrong? And he's like, no, I just don't want to bruise my microherbs.
I mean, it is fair.
Well, no, suddenly
It's like that's the thing, dude. That's real.
I mean, I've had so many dishes where the herbs have been
Sorry,
bruised
but
and
have
it's
you
ruined
watched
it.
my videos lately where I just
Oh my God, you're plugging your-
There's no scissors.
That's winging it with Hoda. Anyway,
Tune in on Wednesdays for our live
Tuning
Winging
on
It with
Wednesdays,
Hoda.
by the way, guys.
What?
Follow me on Instagram.
Does T-Fowl have
She's
tweezers?
becoming shameless.
T-Fowl
Oh, yeah.
tweezers?
Breville,
No.
Rebel does.
Chris just loves how this season of Masterchef is about plugging people's things.
Have you got
Why
a-
not
do you want
do it on
to
the
listen to
washing
it?
up podcast?
join the group.
No, don't sell out. Don't be.
What was that?
Don't sell out.
Jess?
It's our dream to sell out on this podcast. If we
people
could
are
sell
watching.
out, I will go hard. Like, I will tattoo your brand on my butt. There's lots of room.
Just pay for the tattoo and
No, I think even if you're not paying for it,
Has anyone got a MasterChef tattoo?
someone will out there, not me. But
I bet people. Yeah, when we were all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at the beginning of our season, we were all like, "Let's get MasterChef
Like Olympians
tattoos on our
do.
butt."
has somebody got their favourite George Columbaris, comment? Good crock and bush, like just tattooed just down their back, maybe with a crock and bush. That could be interesting. I wonder if George has got that done.
I think I should just say cunt again. Like, just to take the awkwardness out of
I
that.
love it if this is like George Columbaris' like secret pleasure that he just listens to the Washing Up podcast.
He's a sadist. He's a sadist.
He's a masochist just wanting the pain.
George, we see you out there.
We see you. We
oh, now who's getting all sexy?
that was.
How would you make that sexy? I think we need a lesson on what's sexy.
Can you give me sexy?
Yeah, but you can't handle it.
The podcast is now going to be $5.95 a minute.
Call 0005 washing up.
Amex does attract a surcharge.
Always a surcharge. But we accept it. We also accept PayPal. Anyway, so we had a couple of interesting ice cream flavours. A couple of them. Not a lot, but a couple. But we had the myrtle and beetroot ice cream.
Yeah,
Yes.
loved it.
Yeah,
See,
that was cool.
that was also. This is also the week. This
And
is,
Callum made a flavour block.
Yeah, yeah, and it was a pretty colour.
It was
I
pretty.
agreed with Mel. I did want that in a lipstick and a nail polish.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It was
What
beautiful.
about a hair
Stunning.
colour?
Yeah,
Yeah, I would 100%. Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yep, see? New ideas. Always winging it.
that's what she's here for. That's what she's here for.
You can't just call everything winging.
She
Like
can and she will.
It's
every
Thank
thought,
you very much, Chris.
literally winging it.
Learn, she's going like winging it, she's drumming it to people. Now you just be titty litter.
Now I made fun of his.
Set up.
I made fun of his microherbing before, but I did like Reese's ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
it
Mandarin and Tarragon. I thought it was really
It was nice. It was different. It was unusual.
It wasn't bruised.
and it met the brief.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
If you're listening,
Royce.
That was terrible.
Just embrace it in a bogan.
Royce.
Royce.
That's when we call you Hoda.
Hoda.
Royce.
Royce and Hoda. Royce and Hoods.
Mate, if you put my alcohol on,
You're actually crying with laughter.
I can't deal.
This is fantastic. This is brilliant. So
Is it?
Well,
I
it is.
don't know if this makes good content.
It's amazing car crash podcasting. It's amazing.
I just
much
haven't
like
had like facial reactions to the shit I say, and it's quite confronting.
much
This is
like
the first one, like...
Face to face.
the first one face to face. We've done face.
Hey.
Unforgettable.
Like felching and stuff.
You were very well
back then.
behaved last time
I
we spoke
was.
about it on the podcast. So,
So was I.
yeah, you were both very well behaved. What the fuck happened?
I was.
We got to know each other.
Yeah. So
We'll blame Jess.
we'll blame Jess. Not this Jess, the one who went home. We'll blame her. So
I don't even get the blaming.
no, we're helping you out here. So
Hang on, what are you doing now? Like Masterchef, you're now like she's here, but she's not.
no, she's not. No.
Wasn't that
Oh my god, Jess is
She's gone now. She's gone now. Poe's Neapolitan attempt was interesting.
I love
Yeah.
you, Jess.
Poe sort of
It's the chocolate.
Poe sort of admitted halfway through what she was doing that this wasn't going to work, which I liked. Like Poe got about halfway through hers and she's like, "This isn't going to work," but I'm going to plate it up anyway. Like I'm going through to the next round. We all know that I'm going through to the next round. Oh,
Yeah.
it happens. And it's one of the things that I have liked about Poe this year is when shit's gone wrong, Poe's just gone, "Oh, well, this is fucking up, isn't it?"
She hasn't tried to polish a turd.
I think that's the nice thing. Looking in on it, it seems a lot nicer. And maybe this is what you get when you've left MasterChef,
Yep.
and they've all had the opportunity to go back. I think my biggest takeaway from it, if I had to do it again, was I would just chill out more, because at the end of the day it really is just a cooking competition.
Yes.
Have fun with it.
Yeah.
But when it's the first time you're doing it, it's really intense.
Yeah.
And it feels like your whole life depends on how well you do on it, because you've given up so much. These guys have all been through it already, and I think that's the key to doing well, as Hoda will agree, because I know that's how she got so far. She just winged it. Wung it.
Amen, sister.
But going in and just having a bit more fun with it and not stressing so much. And I think that's why it's nicer to watch this season.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think that people have been a lot more. I've done this before.
They're more
now.
confident.
Yeah,
But they also know what an awesome experience it is. Like, it's something that they're passionate about and then they love, and they're in a sandbox with all the goodies that you can play with. So
Yeah.
why the fuck not?
I think this is a much better season to have been in. Like, I think they've had a really great time of it, and they've been treated professionally. And I'm not saying I was. Oh,
No,
shit. Here we go.
you're not saying you were, but what you're saying is that like they've also got. But what you're saying as well is they've had more of a chance to. They've already experienced it
To
once, so they've got a
exceed.
bit more of an
Yes.
understanding.
Yes, exactly. Thank
Yes.
you very much.
That's what I'm not just here to watch everybody go off the rails. I'm here to help.
The only thing though that I made an observation, and that's the bordering on like, all right, we know there's some people's personalities are personalities, right? But
Yeah.
then there's the cockiness.
Yeah.
And the cockiness is what I don't do.
If there's one thing we know about Hoda, she's
not cocky.
modest.
I
I'm
bring
not
it.
cocky. I
I'm just
hope
going to
I'm
make
not.
stuff up
You are
on
a bit.
the fly.
In a good way, though.
In a good way, in the best
Confident,
way.
yeah, confident, yeah, but cocky, like I'm
Mate,
better
I'm
than
good at-
everyone else.
Arrogant is the word.
I'm
Not for you. No, but I
Your
see what you mean.
Instagram series is literally called Winging It with
Yeah.
Hoda, where I'm going to make something out of the top of my head that's better than anything you can do.
I never said better than anything you can do.
Do you
I just
believe
said
that?
I'm making. Did you watch my last week?
I do. Khan's ice cream.
Yes.
The smoked rhubarb and the cardamom vanilla.
This is what I'm on about. That's not pushing
I
it.
do agree with that.
I've seen more interesting and exotic flavours in my local ice cream shop.
This one I do agree with because
Look, a
and
hokey
it was-
pokey is always good.
and it was the one that they brought up and they said, "Is this too basic?" And then they backed away from it and said, "It's great, it's fantastic."
But
Why
then
was
you
I
put
ever
a-
worried?
You can't
That's
tell
all-
some people it's too basic and not the others.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not fair, and
Yeah.
that's when it starts to get infuriating.
No, he put bay leaf in it to elevate it. But bay leaf is safe because it's a safe. You know, you put bay leaf in everything.
I think it's just the fact that it's common flavors that everyone
Milo?
already knows.
Put a
Like
leaf in it.
I think he hit the brief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this objectively. I
Yes.
think he hit the brief in terms of Don't look at me like that, Jess.
Me? She's talking about the other Jess.
100% the other one.
The other Jess.
I'm just saying, in terms of like, they wanted, like, almost they were alluding to savoury and sweet kind of things in their description in the beginning. But those combinations are combinations that everyone uses.
Yes.
So it's become a common thing. Like, that's why
True, if you put out cardamom and rhubarb in like season 1, people would be like going, holy shit, what the fuck is cardamom?
Yeah, but they also use puff pastry and stock cubes in season 1. So it's like...
But the other interesting part about that Khan one, though, was that after telling him that it was far too basic, Andy's judging advice was basically, don't listen to me. He said to him, basically said, look, I gave you this advice. Look, you went with your own and ignored what I said. That was the right move. I'm sitting there going, so what you're saying, Andy, is what you said to him was pointless. Don't do that. You're doing yourself out of a job.
They've got to say something to them, don't they?
No,
They're getting paid for it.
Yeah.
Imagine if you're getting paid
bottom
for
line
it.
is, I don't think it was as adventurous as the others. I agree with that. I'm just saying, like, it wasn't... It should... we should have seen a bit more of...
I'm sorry, but you've got someone making a tamarind ice cream. You've got someone making
sweet corn.
I love sweet corn ice cream. You've got someone making, white chocolate and miso. What did I say when we were watching it? I came up with a really good one.
That's her memory.
Sure.
Guys, I've got excuses. My memory loss.
Sugar high, lots of sugar tonight.
You were going to
So
do
much
something
fucking
with
sugar.
goat's cheese.
Oh yeah, goat's cheese
And
and
peaches.
peach and rosemary, like those.
Ooh.
Just as one of them, but then
Those flavours aren't all
And
basic?
also, I do. Yeah, they are.
But she'd still do it and say
I know,
she gets to it.
I retract that.
She'd be a safe.
No, that's not what I said I was going to do. No, I said like a sour. There was something else. I can't think now. You put me on the spot.
So the
I'll
second
tell
one we
you
called
what
it
I
would have been
said
basic.
I
We
would
can't all
make.
wing it.
I would have made soy sauce and brown sugar.
Oh, yeah, you said
yogurt
Sounds
sorbet.
You know
That
what I
sounds
would have
really
made? They're going, like, Jock's like, I want exotic, I want out there. I'd be like, you're getting a breast milk. You said you wanted something
Hey,
exotic out there.
if
It's been made.
Can I just say,
Yeah,
if it's the beginning of the pump, you get the cream. So
Now, but you also could have played to the... I wonder if you can do haggis in an ice cream and play to the judges. Like, play the job, Haggis. Enjoy.
Smoked kipper ice cream.
Innards.
Actually, that could actually work
With a
quite
creme
well.
fraiche ice cream?
Yes.
Why don't you turn it to
with
a
a bit of
crumb?
horseradish in it?
What I'm going to do is, after
See?
this episode, I'm going to put Jess's suggestion for a flavour and Hoda's suggestion for a flavour up on a poll. I want you to vote on which one you pick.
Well, they won't know. You got to specify
Sorry,
which Jess it is.
let's call mine, because you know how they all do fish sauce
I didn't
caramel.
finish coming up with my idea.
Yes, you did. You just backed off on
Brown
it.
sugar soy sauce caramel
Huh?
with a yogurt sorbet.
That sounds awful.
Don't diss it until you try it.
That's the annoying thing about you is that it would actually
It
take
would
you.
work. It would work. That's the problem.
See, I think there's one thing we need to set Hoda a challenge.
Uh-huh.
White chocolate velouté.
I agree, 100%.
Done.
I think you are the person.
Challenge is accepted.
Wonderful.
Whoever is listening to this,
First of all, if you're still listening to this, thank you.
And maybe take another round of drugs.
Yes. It's wearing off now. Your hand is just a hand again.
white chocolate velouté.
Yeah.
How about I make it now while we're doing the podcast? I'm not even joking.
I know you're not. The scary part is I don't think you are joking. I think you would make white chocolate velouté while we're doing this.
Right, come on, let's carry on. Let's carry on.
We
We need to Masterchef.
I'm off to make
I okay.
All right,
We've got to make a white chocolate
So
velouté.
again, the other flavours, just quickly, as we said, Sarah made her sweet corn and a miso ice cream as
Love
well.
it.
Yeah.
Laura made the roast fig and wattle seed, which
Again,
that was a bit basic.
seen it.
Then we had, as I said, and then we had Simon got thoroughly confused, ended up making pancakes and ice cream.
Oh, Simone.
Love you, Simon, but nothing you did worked. And he's just got to the end of that challenge. But again, like Poe, Simon was just like,
But
yeah.
whenever in doubt, just go with the emotional attachment to a dish.
100%.
They might just like it enough.
He may never have had pancakes in a stack in his life.
No, probably not.
Who went to that pancake
But sorry, what were you saying about
No, but that's
Poe?
the thing. Like, I think, but that's what I said. I think, like, much like Poe, Simon was just going into this going, "Oh, well, I'm fucked." So, like, you saw it, and like when he even came up and they went, "So, are you happy with this?" And he just went, "No, no, I'm really not. This is nothing like what I wanted to plate up. I'll see you in the next round." And it was basically just straight away going, "I'm done." Brandon made wasabi ice cream and parsnip ice cream. He should be shot for the parsnip
No,
ice cream.
I like parsnip ice cream. I've had it before. It's actually, and that was one of the things I said when we were talking about it before they
That you
even
liked it.
Yeah, and it was before it even
I
went
think
to him cooking parsnip ice cream.
But didn't he say it was the it wasn't the ice cream flavour, it was the texture?
Yeah, because you need to infuse the creme anglaise with the parsnip, not put parsnip
But
into
that's
it.
what I was more worried about with that. Not so much flavour of parsnip.
Did he put it in it? He just
he
blended it. Yeah,
he blended
that's
it.
where you went wrong.
And that was my thing with the parsnip ice cream.
So would that mean like you kind of like boil or simmer it into the
Yeah,
cream
so
glaze?
we've all had potato, like we've heard of potato ice cream. It's the same thing with parsnips, and it's actually a really nice flavour because it's got that beautiful sweetness of the root veg, so it works really well.
See, if we did the smoked herring ice cream, right, and then did a
I'm
potato
thinking more mackerel than herring,
mackerel,
but
okay,
yeah.
the fish ice cream, right, and then you did the potato.
And we just lost a lot of listeners.
And then you do like a salty potato ice cream, and it's fish and chips on the beach.
Yeah,
like, it's just
I'm digging it.
100%. 100%.
Digging it. Or you can have a soy sauce ice cream. I mean, it's just
Yeah, if you soy sauce
Why
caramel.
not? No, can I just turn that up a notch?
Go
Can
for
I
it.
take that dish and turn it up slightly?
you're just holding a knife, pointing it towards me. Really throwing it
Butter
on.
knife, relax.
I know. That's not a knife.
It's I would do the potato ice cream.
now she's stealing our idea.
No,
Yeah.
no.
You're in trouble.
And then I'll do what everyone else does: a fish sauce caramel. And there's your fish and chips.
I don't know
in an
anyone
ice
that's
cream
ever done a
bowl.
fish sauce caramel every second dish.
I've never made a fish sauce caramel.
No,
you just like to point out.
No.
Well, that's going to change.
And that's why I came now.
That's it.
Exactly. But the other thing with Brendan's one that was a bit of a problem was they couldn't tell the difference between the two ice creams.
Do you know what I loved is when they walked up and they said, "Oh, they both look the same. Did you mean to do that on purpose?"
And he just went,
And no, but you can tell he's just like, "Yeah, sure."
But we say this all the time on the podcast. If the judges come up to you, look at you and go, "Did you mean to do that?" The
It's
answer
improv.
is yes.
It's improv. The
Always
answer
yes.
is always yes.
Yep, always yes.
And
Yes, and
100%.
I just want it to be one colour palette.
It's like The Office. It's
Oh, I
like
go
the,
back on and go, yes,
it's
and.
like The Office. No, it's like The Office.
Yes.
It's whenever Dwight says, would you like to? Your answer is always yes. Yes, I would. So we also had Callum made the salted pistachio with the beetroot parfait. Salted pistachios, it looked good. The salted pistachios a bit more simplistic.
I thought that was safe.
Yeah, that is safe.
Safe.
100%. Honey pea.
So let's talk Jess. We have to talk Jess's ice cream.
Which Jess?
Not you. The one who up until last night was cooking.
The one that's considered a legend.
We're talking about legendary Jess.
One of our favourites.
Don't blame me. Blame the MasterChef voiceovers. So
One of our favourites left the competition.
I know.
yesterday.
they did.
No, I
So-
do love sweet, mature Jess.
So the problem, the maturity that has come is amazing. So the thing was with that ice cream, she said, "I don't like licorice." So why did you make?
Because chocolate bullets. They're chocolate and they're licorice, so it makes sense.
Not if you don't like it.
No, you can't cook.
If you don't like
it's
it, have you tried it?
See, okay, I think that you can cook a lot of things that you might not necessarily like, but you can stand. I'm like Jess, I cannot. There's very few ingredients I won't eat. There's probably two, and licorice is one of them. And I can't cook with it. How can you cook with something that you don't understand the flavour?
What's the other?
Tripe.
Okay, so licorice and tripe ice cream.
And
Sorry.
pea crumb.
And a pea cream. And a pea cream, apparently.
You don't like peas?
No,
Peas are evil.
Why? They're so
Balls.
sweet, literally.
they're evil.
They taste like fucking...
Oh, you both don't like them?
No, I really don't like them.
Oh.
It's, even the smell of them cooking. But I love pea and ham soup. It's so strange.
No,
It's
that's
the
just all
texture.
mental. That's mental.
It's texture.
No,
And
It's texture.
I always tell people the reason, most often than not, the reason why you probably don't like something is because either you have eaten it prepared in its wrongest form, or it is like that sort of texture.
I agree, and I tell people the same thing when they tell me that they're fussy eaters. But do you know what? I will always keep giving things a go with that in mind. And I recently had one of Sydney's best tripe dishes, and I still couldn't eat it. So Alberta's Lounge do an amazing tripe, but I just it's just not my thing.
There are some things that it doesn't matter how well done they are. Yeah.
And before the...
That sounds like literal hell on earth.
The day before the Illawarra Folk Festival, apparently they get
They
together...
both sound like the worst thing.
I will tell my Morris dancing friends.
Speaking of horrible things, there's the third one.
Morris dancing tripe ice cream. It's a thing. So,
It's the weekend of hell.
I think we've lost our
The
Morris
Morris
dancing.
dancing crew are out.
So sorry.
They're dancing away as we speak.
I feel like getting a
jingle
You can hear the bells as they leave. So we got to the 5, and again, if you'd seen any of the promos that had happened in the meantime, you knew who the 5 were.
Yeah.
So you had Poe, you had Callum, you had Simon, you had Jess, and you had Brendan. So then they got to pick their flavour profile combo, and they had to pick one of the combos. Do we know what we would have picked? Because I would have picked the mustard mint.
No, the lime and the lime and the coffee was a safe get. And I think when you're in that position of elimination, I'd go what you're comfortable with. I liked the idea of the carrot and raspberry. I think they made it sound.
I always
They
thought
made
it
it
was a
sound
cake,
like they
a
were
carrot
in the answer
cake.
before they set it up.
If you do, if you're making like carrot friand or something like that, like a little burst of carrot with like a zingy
Or a cake pop.
Cake pop.
a carrot cake pop.
Second challenge.
Like a burst of zingy raspberry fucking jam or something
raspberry
just
in
to
the middle.
I think there's loads of options with that. I'm curious that you wanted the mustard and mint. What would you have made with that?
Well, see, I don't know exactly
Actually,
what we're
yeah,
made with it. But I think the combination is something that's easily workable, and it's not
true.
it's not the really safe option. So it's just it's just risky enough that I would look like I was taking a chance.
Yeah.
But it's still safe enough where I'm like, it's easy to work.
But also the basil and what was
The
it?
peanut butter and basil.
Yeah.
I would have gone for that.
Thai. That's just
Exactly. I think that Yeah.
That was the other one.
nice-
What was the other one? What was the fifth one?
Oh, what was the 5th one? There was coffee, there was the carrot, there was the mustard. I can't remember the other one. Did anyone take it? I don't think anyone took it. Someone at home's yelling at us right now going, no, how dare you forget this part of the challenge. Wouldn't have forgotten if Revan was making it. Anyway, so...
Let's go on the Masterchef Twitter account to
But
see.
meanwhile, fuck this last challenge. All I want to talk about is Poe has a friend in Italy who makes violins.
Oh my god. I reckon Poe has a friend that does cool crafts everywhere across the world. Like she just spends her downtime just hanging out with cool artists that she's met at both
100%.
festivals.
But I love the way she just casually dropped, you know.
Yeah.
I had this dish once when I was in Italy meeting a violin-making friend of mine.
Soy and chocolate.
Soy and chocolate. Okay, that was
Soy.
Yeah, that does actually. That sounds pretty.
No, that's probably the one I wouldn't have gone for.
Yeah. Someone used it, didn't it? No one used it.
No, I don't think anyone used that one.
No.
Which one?
Soy and chocolate.
See, this is where my
Yeah,
You're going off right now.
this is where my thing would have come in. Soy sauce, chocolate. What would I have created with that? I would have chosen that.
a white chocolate velouté.
Of course you would have.
Milk chocolate.
Yeah, exactly.
Milk chocolate soy velouté.
We also got a rare burst of Brendan with like his personality moment came through.
Yeah.
Was when he did Peng Peng Chicken.
Do you reckon
And then
it's
looked at the camera with a wry smile like, I made it funny. That was good. See what I did there? Jokes.
He is very funny.
I have no
He is-
doubt.
He's such a great guy. I really like him.
I have
love
absolutely
Brent.
zero doubt that he's a
Brendan's
That's
like
not what
my
you
little
said to me
brother.
before the show
Yeah.
started.
I've always
See, my big concern is I always worry that he was negatively affected by the day that Cobram attacked him, and I wonder if he ever got over it. And so it's good to see that he's working through the trauma.
I think it's exposure therapy that his therapist got him back on the show.
That's why he went back in.
Therapy,
it's to make sure that he can get over the horrors that had taken place. So
you know, really suck, right? If you had a massive fear of flying, and just before the pandemic hit, you'd been okay, I'm going to get on a plane, travel the world, and then the pandemic hits, and you're like, fuck, there
Back
goes
to
all that
square
work.
one.
Yeah, exactly.
So I really liked of all the different dishes. So we had Callum use the mustard, and he made the dal butter for a start, which sounded really nice.
I reckon that's a bit of Simon because he and Simon have become buddies.
Well, I mean, it was mustard roasted cauliflower, so you know, I'm assuming that there was a bit of a Simon influence.
I think
which
is cauliflower.
It's lovely.
Yeah, was it influence?
It's always nice to watch sort of the
Didn't
fusion.
Simon do the lamb?
So,
Yeah, but Simon's bag is sort of, you know, he loves his dals.
I know, but roles reversed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See the connection I've made?
Oh, 100%.
What would we be doing right now without you?
Fireball moment.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead right now. The secret she keeps had will be on, even though the show's already finished.
What other dishes?
She's not my baby.
So Simon.
She's a dingo.
So Simon made the lamb. The problem with the lamb, as they said, was that the coffee wasn't really. He was trying to work out how to make the coffee prominent. And they just said the flavours weren't quite balanced.
He used to work for a coffee liqueur company as well. Come on, Simon.
But lift your coffee game. Pang Pang chicken.
Which is so cute.
Look, again.
He's like, it's my name.
I wanted
Bang Bang. It's Pang Pang.
The marketing is it's ready to go. Like, I want to see it in freezers. After this, Pang Pang chicken.
We are going to see that
I hope
at
so.
your
Like,
nearest
Woolies
Woolies or
Yeah, is it
store.
Woolies?
On the
I'll
shelf.
take on nothing.
He's doing a short film called Kiss Kiss Pang Pang.
I wanted to eat that dish. That dish looked really good.
That was
He's
the
making
one.
an essential oil, kind of floury, called Pang Pang, Plang Plang. Like Plang Plang.
So the thing was that with that dish, that was the one where I looked at it and I thought that if anything was going to save Jess,
He's rewriting Greece with Ramapanga Ding Dong.
You just can't be stopped.
no,
Right.
that's always.
I'm helping out Brendan. See,
You
I
are.
helped you with your.
We're gonna wait. I'm just gonna. You keep going.
I'm
and I
trying.
Find it.
I'm really trying.
We're not making it easy.
Desperately trying.
Right,
So,
yeah. It was the only thing that was going to save Jess. Why? What do you
I
mean?
thought that.
What, because it was so simple?
No, what they did was they tried to. So I've been predicting edits all the way through the series with a really high percentage.
You can't.
Pang pang.
Review. This is for review purposes. No, I won't. It's for review purposes. So as long as we don't play 30 seconds of it, we're good. So and cut. So we had.
I'm just going to say that now.
She can't stop it. She can only be contained.
Come on, this is going to go for 20 years.
I'm trying.
Just
so
I've got to get up early tomorrow. Just lined it up. So where were we up to? Yes. So Callum got through tonight.
so Jess's dish was officially called Shiraz berry sorbet.
We're only up to that part.
I've been trying. So
Focus, girls, focus.
you need to focus. So Shiraz berry sorbet. My big thing was when I looked at Jess's plate, there was so many different things happening, and I'm like, they don't like that.
So we know that they don't like that. And should we move on? Because
No, there's just one thing about the dish.
Okay.
Now, I am no alcoholic dish or alcohol expert in any case, shape or form, whatever. However, she did not cook off the alcohol and she just poured it in.
But she was trying to
up.
make a mulled wine. She cooked
wine-
off some of it, and then I saw her adding in raw wine. Raw wine? Let's go with it.
They're called grapes.
Yeah, well, regardless.
I'm officially calling grapes raw wine from now on.
So,
I'm gonna get a customer. Have you guys got any raw wine? And
so when you're like, no, that's something that I would say. And they'll be like, what do you mean?
You know, seedless raw wine.
Anyway, the point is that Okay, mulled wine, from my understanding, isn't that cooked like it's boiled?
You have a pagan sitting right here. Come on.
So
It is, yeah.
It is. So you basically get a nice red, and you throw like all your herbs and spices in, mostly, and orange wine and stuff, and you just cook it. You just slowly simmer it till it all.
But it's alcoholic.
It is alcoholic.
So you don't cook out all the alcohol.
Well, there's so much of it that you can't cook
No. Mulled wine.
it's a lower, slower.
Yeah.
It's you do it in a slow cooker.
But you don't have that hard tang over the top of it like what you do with just normal wine.
Okay,
you know
so-
the not quite cooked wine.
She then poured the raw wine
The grapes.
over that, and I mean that's gonna add a freshness to it, isn't it?
Yeah, no, look, I just think those two things wouldn't have really... But we could talk about raw wine and cooked wine all day long.
Say that for the next podcast.
We will.
But
Jess and Christy talk about raw, cooked, and all other kinds of
While
wine.
eating raw wine.
Eating the cooked stuff.
I also made pasta. Anyway, so that's that challenge covered. Jess goes home.
Poor Jess.
A moment of respect.
Now,
Yeah.
and nobody could give her a hug because COVID.
That was the worst.
That was-
She is the most tactile person that I know.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing. You could just see that everyone was straining to like not hug her because they all know. Like, so they could just see everyone. Like Reese looked genuinely shattered. Like
It was like one of the most cruel. It's just
It
like
was
they'd
cruel
almost
to
done it on
watch.
purpose.
But Melissa,
I
you could see
turn around to all the
Melissa.
cameras and go, "You shut those off now. I'm coming in."
You could just see Melissa looking at her like, I want to be nurturing and motherly, but
I
I'm not
know.
allowed to touch you.
They couldn't have done it to a worse person. Like, yeah.
Like, and that was
Agreed.
And that was where everyone was trying to guess like who was going home. And I'm like, look, with all due respect, I don't think they're sobbing and wanting to hug Simon. Not because of Simon, just because it doesn't strike me as that's the Simon reaction. It did strike me as a Jess reaction. Like everyone wants to give her a hug.
That's I think that was one of the, you always got to lose a really big favourite.
Yep, at some point. Yeah.
For my season it was me.
You obviously.
Yeah.
And you went out.
And
Too soon, Jess.
Ruined the series.
Too
The series.
We'll do a part 4 on that. But that was a shock, I reckon. There are some big, strong cooks in there, and she was one of them.
She's had a great couple of weeks as well.
Yeah.
Like her last 2 weeks in particular have been on
She
fire.
was going to be in the final.
Yeah, but they always do that. They
But
take you out
she did
at your prime.
But the thing was, I know you're still not over it. But the thing was, though, that's exactly what happened, and I sort of we will get to tonight's episode because there's not a lot to talk about with tonight's episode. Thankfully,
because we've got everything else to talk about.
But I think that it was really important to remember when Jess was on her series. She had the same thing happen. She had 2 amazing weeks suddenly where she burst out of the pack and started producing great dish. Fucked up one challenge, went home.
Yeah,
And
we're
it
talking
was-
about me now?
Not you.
No.
Oh.
No.
You know the Jess we want.
Not you. The other one.
But I take the whole adage: if you can't be with the one you want, love the one you're with.
Jess, I'm always talking about you.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'll make you feel
Terrible.
Just rolled away.
Give me a
Just
hug.
rolled away. Distancing. Social distancing.
We're not touching. We're hugging from a distance.
They're just
We're air hugging.
The copywritten music tonight. My God, the copywritten music tonight is insane.
They're not going to let you put this
Anyway, Jess has
podcast
got a
up.
great cookbook out. She's full of potential and promise.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
She will be...
Are you talking about you now? Or?
No, God. I don't have a cookbook.
We'll talk about you in a minute. So
Boring.
tonight they decided that for basically this week they're breaking them into rounds and they're doing an elimination cook-off where the winner of the challenge of the night goes through to the immunity. Everyone else is in the elimination. So they're slow playing now who's left,
Plus,
obviously.
it gives everyone a bit of a rest, which
Yep.
I think is needed because, this is early COVID days, and I
Yep.
remember those first 2 to 3 weeks of when the pandemic really hit home.
It
and we were
also-
isolating.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
It
hard.
also gives the food team a chance to scramble on the challenges.
Yeah.
Because they can't do team challenges. They've got to make sudden adjustments to the schedule, and that's been in planning for a long time.
Where the
they
fuck are they
needed to
going?
give them a week where they can just do this one set of challenges for a week, and by the end of this week they can have rescheduled everything else they need to do. So it's actually quite clever from a planning perspective, but
And that's a lot of kudos. Like, if they pull this off,
Yeah.
Like, not just this week, but like the upcoming challenges. If they pull it off and make it work,
yeah.
like that's pretty fucking phenomenal.
We're going to see a socially distant grand finale.
100%.
Hope they do a Zoom drag race.
But
So you want lip sync?
Just jock in a mask like Rue. Did you see it? So
Time has come to lip sync for your cook.
Rue couldn't do his makeup, so just had this like spandex mask on the hat.
Very bizarre. So tonight's challenge, they decided to produce the citrus, and they all had to pick one citrus, and you had 2 rounds. If you went through to the second round,
Very
so you
Iron
had to
Chef.
make. It was a bit like I was disappointed. We
Josh
didn't get.
just turned around. Oh, Melissa.
Yeah. I was disappointed because again,
Chairman
like we all know,
Karga's
everyone's favourite moment of Chairman Karga is the intro to Iron Chef, where he's holding the capsicum, he bites it, looks at the camera, and laughs while he then swallows capsicum. It's amazing.
I miss Iron Chef.
It's amazing. Not the American version, only the Japanese version.
Oh, yeah.
Also, we're one of the only countries that didn't put overdub Chairman Karga. We put captions only and let him talk in Japanese.
Love that.
Which is we're the only country in the planet that did it outside of Japan.
We did something good.
I know, it's amazing. It's crazy.
I know. Now
So everyone else got
our,
overdub.
like Indigenous rights abuses record, and we'll be great again.
Well done. So nice linking of Iron Chef to Indigenous rights abuses. So we got to
We're just bringing down the tone.
I loved it. Yeah.
we got to the challenge tonight with citrus. So you had to use whatever citrus you chose. You had to use in the first round. You had to do either sweet or savoury with that. But whatever you did in the first round, if you went through to the second round, you needed to do it reversed. So you needed to flip it around.
So if you did a savoury in the first, you had to do a sweet in the second.
Now Callum said that this was the most incredible display of citrus ever.
Oh, sit down, Callum. Haven't you? Our producers and farmers, from northwestern Queensland and
Northern districts.
the northern districts, the Riverina, at the fucking East Show, they would be poo-pooing you.
There would be a merino made of turnips, and then there'd be like oranges around the outside to symbolise, and like you'd have all sorts of fruit and veg.
Fuck, Callum, like you haven't lived until you've seen a giant pumpkin, like surrounded by a display of kumquats in the shape of like fucking Ernie Dingo. I don't know. It's just
And a couple of condoms.
Have you never seen a surfboard, and a wave made out of fruit and veg? Because come on, those displays existed and they were genius.
They were my favourite thing at the Royal Easter Show.
Oh, yeah.
Hands down.
I just always wanted to see someone jump over the fence and like pull one out of the bottom, watch the whole display. They were fun.
I willingly ate vegetables around that display.
Yes, because you taste the produce. It's lovely.
Because you're like, it looks so fucking good. It's like, and then my mum's like, I can't produce that on a plate.
It's at this point that I chime in and say, have you seen MD Providence?
Oh, God. I told you she was going to work it in eventually, ladies and gentlemen. I told you.
I'm the one who is, doing what Chris absolutely loves on this season, and that's everyone talking about their own stuff.
No one's mentioned anything like Callum. You wouldn't know he had a cooking
Does he have a cooking school?
Absolutely not.
Does Callum have a cooking school?
Yeah, you have no idea.
When the fuck did that happen?
Oh, I had to Google it. And I had to do a deep dive to find out what
Can
Callum
we all travel there?
I wonder if it teaches people how to
Not
do
now, the
citrus.
state's locked down.
I wonder if he knows how to do citrus. Anyway,
Not a display of citrus, clearly.
far more importantly...
Come to the Easter show, Callum. They'll show you
This is our official invite.
Yeah.
So far more importantly, Reynolds picked up a lime.
Can we not talk about Reynolds?
You know what? I was not going to, but fuck it.
No.
So he picked up a line.
Jess has gone quiet.
And the judge's reaction was, ooh. I'm like, it's a fucking lime. Like, seriously, what's the ooh around picking up a lime? Like, of all of the ones you could have picked up, probably the safest out of lemon.
Do you think in Reynolds' contract there was a certain number of like oohs and ahs that they have to...
It's built in.
It's like if they don't meet the quota, then they have to follow him to the toilet.
They were looking at the challenge. They were looking at the challenge that was set, and they're like, I can't see enough oohs in this one. Quickly, he'll pick something up. Ooh! It didn't matter what he picked up. They were going to ooh. But to be fair, the person who oohed was the superhero we didn't know he needed. It was Captain Acidity. I hope the job turns into Captain Acidity like of just an evening.
I'd like to see like the what's it called, the estate of Stan Lee sue him. That's one of the little-known superheroes.
One of the superheroes they didn't know about.
Yeah.
And so we then cut to Brendan, who's following up last night's Pang Pang chicken with basically a chicken pop.
And how'd you handle that, Hoda?
Yeah, was it an homage?
Was it an homage?
Because he was, of course, there.
Brought back memories for me.
He was there with the cake pop. Did you take credit?
Thank you.
He learned everything he knows
Brendan
from you.
Pang. You did not hashtag thanks to Hoda.
But he was winging it.
He was winging it.
He was winging it.
Still a homage, obviously.
Inverted winging it.
This is the only podcast that should be visual because Jess waving her wing is a highlight that you're never going to get to see, audience.
No, she doesn't have wings. I mean, you do. You're an angel, Jess.
I am
Wait,
gonna
which
take a
one?
photo.
The one the night before.
Well, look, in this day and age on social media, I expect to be credited
With
for
everything. You want to be tagged in everything. We know how this works.
I want to be tagged. I'm pretty sure everyone else wants to be tagged in everything, you know. Hashtag or at
Yeah.
Jess.
Bye,
What,
Breville.
Jess?
The Breville Teethal Wars are on.
Teethal.
I remember the Breville Teethal Wars.
There's no war.
MD Providence.
And they probably
There's a clear front runner.
KitchenAid. Anyway,
Maybe you should do a head-to-head challenge.
We've talked about it. I would
Should.
like. I don't know how our
don't know
I
who
don't know
brands
how our
feel.
brands would
Anyway, to get you away from the brand wars, at this point he also tasted his sauce and was like, it's a bit strong. And I was worried he was going to kill himself on his sauce. And I'm like, don't do that.
Captain Acidity
Captain City should have helped him.
should have helped him.
Swooped in for the rescue.
Yeah.
Now,
There was an acid fucking emergency in Captain Acidity. Nowhere to be seen.
Now Reynolds' dish itself though
Like
was
Superman being dead.
Reynolds' dish itself though was three.
And also Clark
three
Kent just
elements.
mysteriously missing.
3 elements and 3 ingredients, and it was really basic and straightforward. It was very white. It's incredibly white.
not huge.
I'm shocked.
She's still
She
going.
always does. She always does.
I've heard their podcast
I'm used to
before,
this.
so he
Yeah,
just
she's
ignores
listened.
Christy.
You did some research.
Yeah, she listens.
Someone out there appreciates my
I
inspiration.
listen.
On episode you're not on?
And I'm like,
So
there's Chrissy
I'm
and
very
judging the
busy. I'm
bullet.
out on the road with Breville.
I just want to stop everybody for a minute to acknowledge the fact that Khan yelled out to Reynolds, blow a sugar lion, and I'm not sure if that was a euphemism or if he actually wanted a sugar lion. I kind of feel like it was street lingo and we're not quite sure what it means. But like people are walking around going, hey dude, blow a sugar lion.
Hey baby, want to come and blow a sugar line?
I'll leave that for you. And
Off
your
my
sexy
titty litter.
voice. You just turned it up like 10 notches.
It's gone
It's back to $5.95.
We're back to $10.95.
What are you
Premium. This is premium. So anyway, Callum made
Hoda's not
Mandarin.
wearing her Masterchef apron, that's for sure. Framed.
How do you know?
So Callum made Mandarin and chocolate baklava.
I reckon Hoda sleeps in her Masterchef apron each night.
You don't know what I've got under these clothes. So I want to talk.
I sleep
We've
in my
now
chef
turned
whites
up to
that I never got to
$100 a
wear.
minute.
We're now going to have
This is
this.
so
Chris
over
has
us.
given up.
Anyway,
So we're taking over.
Anyway,
now.
Reynolds was safe and went wherever.
Up to the gantry.
Well, Reynolds was safe first. No, he didn't go to the gantry. Reynolds was safe and got to cook in the second round.
Oh, that's right.
And then Callum was also safe with him.
Oh,
And
Callum.
so Brendan went up to the gantry, which means that he's got to be in the elimination. Then they went to the second round where they had to flip what they were doing, and they had to do. So one had to do sweet for savoury and vice versa.
No. But they had,
so-
both had to do savoury, didn't they?
Yeah. So
Both had to do same
Yeah.
Because they both did sweet.
So we had Reynolds went to the Simon School of filleting a fish. Because there was
He should have paid attention to
You
that.
can't bag on. I can't.
sorry,
say hi-
Harry?
You can't bag on Simon. I love him too much.
I love him, but he can't fillet a fish. I can't.
No,
It's
we-
proven.
Well, you know what it's
proven.
like when someone's watching you. It's harder to do it.
Well, more importantly, we're talking about the way Reynolds did it. And what Reynolds did was he had a knife stuck on the skin. And while he was talking, he was trying to pretend like it wasn't stuck. And so it was pretty like pulling the fish like this. He's like, yeah, and it's like clearly stuck, and the fish is stretching.
Okay.
And he's just pretending it wasn't happening.
There's a reason for that because he used the wrong knife.
100%.
Yeah, we were all going, oh,
They needed the filleting knife.
Yeah. Well,
filleting
well-
knife? What do you... That's
he
not
does
nice.
desserts. He He does
I'll show you
desserts.
what
I know.
He does desserts. He's not used to a fillet knife.
Let me pull out the
Parfait doesn't require.
I was
a fillet
surprised he didn't do it with an offset spatula.
I'm surprised he didn't grab out the sugar bowl, the sugar blowing thing, and just tried to blow off.
Blow a fish. That's how you fillet a fish. You blow the sugar under the skin, and the skin comes off.
They clearly all benefited off Josh Nyland being there the other night.
100%. They all paid a lot of attention to him dissecting a fish like
Really rubbed off.
that. But more importantly, first of all, I took kingfish off the drinking card this week. Thank God. Secondly, we also had an introduction for the world to scallop silk.
Oh my.
An introduction and farewell.
Yeah. What?
I feel it made its debut in like bad style. Like if this was a debutante ball, that bitch would be showing up in red with a knee height, like above the knee skirt.
And falling down the stairs.
Yeah, drunk.
Yeah, 100%.
Off her
So it's the me of food.
just rocking in to a debutante ball.
This time it's her.
Jess Hall.
It was ridiculous because like he got it out and like everyone's going, I've never seen this cooked like this. This is amazing. This is wonderful. Then Reynolds got it out and went, oh shit, didn't work. And the more he tried, the more it fell apart. And you could almost hear everyone in the gantry going, so that's why I haven't seen that done. Because it was like,
How did he make it again?
So he put it in
A sous vide bag.
he sous vide it.
Yeah, but what's it made?
He mushed up scallop and it had activated charcoal.
Which was, again, if you've got a heart condition, don't eat Reynolds dish.
Or any medication.
Yeah, but
if you are overdosing, have a spoonful or 6.
yeah. So if
help.
Look, if you're overdosing and you have access to
Why is
scallop
someone listening to the Washing Up podcast while they're overdosing on heart
silk,
medication?
you haven't heard what we've done, have you? You haven't heard this.
Back and you'll find out.
This is what they want to go out on.
I'm going to get 2 different sets of feedback to this podcast. One will be, what the fuck was that?
They've drawn a bath. They've got the Washing Up podcast in the back. They've written their note. No, this is not
Really?
This has gone too far.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris and I got our first wonderful message. And it's the second sign I know we're making it to
F-list
F-list
rowboat.
rowboat.
Yeah.
Is this lovely woman in the US reached out to us and basically said, I like your podcast, but why are you using the F word?
It really
doesn't help your credibility.
And I'm like, fuck. I'm sorry, darling. I'll just stop fucking using it. And I can't remember my point. What was I saying?
You got the hate mail, and that makes you feel like you've really
made it.
Yeah, you've made it.
And
I was almost appalled at the lack of hate that I got in my season. Like, I thought, what am I doing wrong that no one hates me?
People might change after this podcast.
Well, just tag the other Jess.
I know. I'll check under her. I know for a fact that I said I'm going to have 2 people going, 1, what the fuck was that? And 2, what the fuck was that? Can we have more of it?
I really
We'll get 2 different sets of feedback here.
I do feel our lovely listener in the US after this episode.
She may not be back.
We'll never hear from her again.
No.
You open with cunt. So
And we'll close with it too.
we haven't finished the challenge. I'm almost there. We're almost there. I can see the finish.
I just
Stretch,
want to talk
baby.
about how great Callum's dish was.
That's where we're at.
That's where we're at. Okay, good. Because this is like one of the only dishes so far of this season that I want to go home and recreate.
Yes.
I loved it.
It looked amazing.
I would have taken delivery in a heartbeat of.
Do you really?
All of that.
Yeah.
It was.
I'll make
Are
it
you
for you.
actually bothered recreating this?
Yeah, because I like doing that stuff.
Oh, fantastic!
Because some people like to
Some people like to put effort into the dish.
Others just wing it.
Thank you very much. You said it on me.
No, I like it, and also,
That was good.
It was good.
It's just a little bit of like, is it really?
Yeah.
You know, let's make it. Is it really? Is it really?
I'd be happy to make that
Yeah.
one. I would be happy to make that one.
I'd like to have that much skill that I could go, I want to try that and see if it's actually good.
You make
All
the
I need to
scallop
know-
silk. And
All I need to know is what did he call the dish, and then I'll recreate it with no recipe, and you recreate it with the recipe.
He
and we'll
called
see.
it Duck Me, I'm Callan. No.
Mandarin glazed
Mandarin,
duck
yeah.
breast.
Done.
I like the way you like. Oh, that's a challenge. It's not a challenge.
we're not challenging you.
Not everything in life is a
Second.
challenge, Hoda.
Done. Let me call my sponsors. I'll have it
I
done.
will fix it. Tea fowl.
Sam from Potato, I'd like a duck please.
Empty providors.
In the cook for me today for you.
Providors. I'd like a orange, please. Sydney freezers. Can I?
This has now become so shameless. Anyway,
Hold on, I've got.
You look so tired.
no, I'm good.
As in, like, from us.
I could continue.
I've just realised this is like I have just been the warm up all these years, and this is like your fucking Olympics. It's not just one crazy chick lady that's just like
There's
throwing
three.
off.
It's
Three
not
wallflowers.
It's not like one. It's not like one train coming off the rails. It's the entire Sydney Rail network. and
So
I feel like,
then.
and I feel like I'm the one person in the control centre going, "Oh my god, the Sutherland line and the Bankstown line. That can't happen."
After all of like this podcast really is 2020 in a podcast.
It really is. But
We're deleting it.
but
It will never be deleted.
far more fucking entertaining. I will give you that one. This is actually, by the way, almost bang on normal time for a podcast. So when you're all going, "Oh my god, this is long," no, it's not.
Yeah,
And
it is. It's the sugar high.
And the listeners at home can vouch for it, because if they've stuck with it this long, well, then you
Good
deserve
on
a
you,
medal of some
guys.
description.
Write in, let us know your
Okay.
feedback.
Please tell us.
If you have stuck with it this long, I'm going to make a graphic that you can put up and said, "I survived." Podcast 2020.
Podcastopolis. So this has actually been, despite what people will be saying about the faces I've been pulling, a hell of a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a good way to get back from like the horror that was the end of last week, and Reynolds stands trying to kill me. So much nicer to instead deal with this. So,
But direct your hate at Jess. She really wants it now. She wants to know she's pregnant.
she didn't get enough of it.
Which
Oh,
Jess?
you heard it. This Jess. So
Can
which
we
Jess?
call this episode Which Jess?
I think so. Yeah. Which Jess? Okay. The episode is
Not
officially
in brackets, not the one you want.
Yeah. no, that's later on.
Brackets can't be with the one you want, not the one you're with.
This has been absolutely spectacular. Thank you, Jess, for doing this. This has been really good. Thank you. Thank
love
you
you.
to the wonderful Hoda, as always.
Jess with the most.
Yes, Jess with the most.
Lady with the banana.
And the most sponsors.
Anyone's ever had.
You know what? This is the first time where we've had someone on where I'm not going to say at the end of it anything to plug, because she's kind of done it all the way through the episode.
Wait, I was just recreating what's been happening on Masterchef this whole season, so that you didn't feel out of your comfort zone.
Do you have a cooking show that you want to?
You go.
Wait, I want to plug things. Yeah, I don't like to plug things.
Plug.
Because you suggest that they didn't want.
Because you don't listen. Anyway,
I'm paying
plug.
them to do this podcast.
Go.
No,
plug.
obviously buy Breville. No, and come check out Two Providors as well in Sydney. If you're in Sydney, we're doing home deliveries.
2 Providors plus Jess.
Yeah, well, I'll be there. Yes.
2.5.
2.5 providors. So check out 2.5 providors, as they will soon be called. Hoda has a billion sponsors. Everyone in Sydney that's not currently sponsoring Jess is sponsoring Hoda.
I get a promotion the next day, I'm including myself in the business name.
I've got a new logo idea. Bear with me on this. Titty litter.
Jess and the 2 Providors.
Adam Khalil, Sally, this is not my idea.
So until a much more serene Thursday podcast,
I really hope.
I'm still Chris.
And I'm still Christy.
I'm still Huda.
And I'm still titty litter.
And we'll catch you all later.
Toodles.